What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. I'm joined by Socko today as we're going to discuss tomorrow's playoff decider to see who's going to be in the Premier Division next season and who will be playing in the First Division next season. Of course, we are going to be discussing UCD against Waterford at Richmond Park. Listen, the major talking point in this game is of course going to surround the managerial situation at Waterford. Mark BIRCHAM has lost his job this week leading up to the game. Before we jump into that, though, we will look at UCD. But if you do want to enjoy the video, please drop a like on it down below and make sure to subscribe. As I said, we're going to start off at UCD, Socko. I think there's only one place to start with them. Irish under-21 international Colin Whelan, a goal and assist last week against Bray in the 2-0 win. 26 goals in all competitions this season. Plenty of assists as well. He's kind of the complete forward, really, isn't he?
Oh, he's been absolutely unbelievable this season. As you said, like 21 years of age, Irish international. He's certain to, regardless of the results, he's certain to make a move up to a Bows or a Rovers next season, or Scotland or something. There's been a talk of a few clubs interested in him. But I was just looking at his stats there. 30 games this year, 24 goals, 10 assists. He's been absolutely superb. I watched them at the Bowl a few weeks ago play Treaty, beat them 2-1 in the league, and he was absolutely superb. I think he got the second goal, and I've only heard good things about him. He'll be absolutely vital on Friday if UCD are to make it into the Premier Division, and we'll get into the Waterford stuff later. But like, if you're going to bet on a team, you'd probably bet UCD, and I think he'll be instrumental to that and their hopes.
Absolutely. Another player you have to mention as well, another Irish under-21 international, Liam Kerrigan as well. Really pacey winger, been fantastic this season, double digits in goals and everything. He's been superb as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he scored against Treaty as well. When I watched him a few weeks ago, he was absolutely superb. Just takes the ball into him on the turn, can find a pass. He's really quick as well.
Yeah.
So them two have been the stars for UCD this year. It's been a year. 2 years, I think, since they were in the Premier Division, if I'm not wrong.
That sounds right.
And like, their club they usually yo-yo, like up and down. But they'll be absolutely buzzing. Like, all the momentum is with them for Friday. They've been in great form, finished the league out really well. We're comfortable in the playoffs. Beat Treaty comprehensively, and we're comfortable against Bray. Enjoyed large spells of possession at the Element last week, but they were comfortable and were well worth the win. Well deserved 2-0, and they'll be full of confidence coming into this fixture. But yeah, definitely Colin Whelan and Liam Kerrigan, absolutely vital for them if they're to have any hopes.
For sure. And do you think, no matter the results, really, it's hard to see either of them really being there next season?
No, definitely not. You'd imagine they both make moves, if not to the Premier Division, if not abroad. Next season, it's going to be very hard for UCD to hang on to them. You could see maybe Bows coming in for them. Like, they only have really promised on Cherry and Georgia Kelly. Keith Long has talked about the need for a striker.
Yeah.
I think Stephen Bradley has had a little bit of interest as well. We know Derry this season is spending big money. The likes of Pats could come in for them as well, who could do another go on their books, another young striker, in Whelan or sign up Kerrigan as well. So yeah, it's very hard to see them staying at UCD next year.
Yeah, especially with the rumours of Georgie Kelly leaving Bows potentially for Derry as well. Maybe something like that could make way for a Colin Whelan coming in. Looking at Shamrock Rovers, they could definitely do with a goal scoring striker, Aaron Green. Not your out and out goal scorer. Rory Gaffney's been really good this season as well. But a young, promising striker, hard to turn down really, and it would really be scary if Shamrock Rovers to get their hands on him as well. And we'll move on to Waterford, and there's only one place we can really start with them. Mark BIRCHAM announced on Twitter last week that he and owner Richard Forrest had some minor disagreements, and that Forrest had given BIRCHAM a 1-week suspension, meaning he wouldn't be on the sideline for the game against the UCD. BIRCHAM's tweet led to Waterford announcing that they have terminated the contract of BIRCHAM. BIRCHAM has since stated that he was not made aware of this decision prior to the tweet and found out at the same time as everyone else. That's absolutely nuts carry on, really, isn't it, leading up to the biggest game of the season?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like, we've seen kind of similar stuff. There's always kind of a story like this, kind of at least once a season, and in the LOI, but it doesn't make it any less shocking and any less surprising. I think the day before all the news came out, he gave an interview to RTE, and we're really looking forward to the Waterford game. We're planning for it. Whatever happened in that text exchange that night led to the announcement the next morning, and like putting aside whatever was said, what happened, like for basic respect, like for a manager to find out he lost his job on Twitter, it's just like insane, like total lack of respect. And all the fans were, most if not all the fans I saw on Twitter and just speaking to, were shocked and like heartbroken, because I think he won 6 of his first 12 games. Got them out of the real bad like relegation fight. Like they were
dead buried
early on the season. They were down. It was them and Longford for like last place. Longford obviously ended up getting relegated, but yeah, he led them to 6 wins in his first 12. Kind of steadied the ship somewhat. They beat Bowes at the Element a few days after the cup semi-final, and picked up a good few other results as well. And they end up drawing 0-0 with Pats there last week, which meant they finished 9th, but just like fine margins, like 1 goal could have made them safe. Small margins. And
the fact they went down to the last day was an achievement in itself, really, considering how they started.
Yeah, geez, you put money on them for being 10th early on the season. So all the fans, he really endeared himself to all the fans. And other than that, like, he's a bit of a character, and spoke really well in interviews, but like the fans really took to him, and they were heartbroken and just really giving out about the owner. And the owner put out the statement saying he was backed into a corner and he was left with no choice, but still really didn't give any reason or any insight into what actually happened.
It's the same owner who gave him a 2-year deal not too long ago as well, isn't it?
Yeah, a 2.5-year deal in all. Like, seriously. So BIRCHAM went on talks for today and alleged that the disagreement they had was about playing the owner's son. I'm not sure what you can read into that. There's other people saying that BIRCHAM didn't want to play a lot of the under-19s with the senior team. We know, I think it was during the summer, Waterford had to postpone a game because I think it was COVID. Their senior squad was out, and they played, I think, their under-19 team versus Drogheda, and I think they got thrashed. So then the next game, they just ended up postponing it. So we know they've been kind of tight on players, tight on subs all year. And BIRCHAM obviously took a stand and said, we don't want our under-19s. We want to look after them. We don't want to be playing with senior football yet. And yeah, listen, whatever went on, like, it's just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And like, I don't know what it's like in that Waterford dressing room this week, leading into, people were saying it's not their biggest game this season, it's the biggest game of their history. Like, I can't remember, arguably, I can't remember off the top of my head the last time they were in the first division, but like, if you were going to put money on it, you'd probably say UCD. Like, how you couldn't pick a more unideal way to enter a playoff game.
Absolutely. They've since added Ian Hendon, Waterford, to their coaching staff this week. I think I looked him up. He's recently in Gibraltar coaching some club in Gibraltar, I think. So yeah, it's just something just to try and give the players a bit of a boost. What you just can't imagine what would be going through the players' heads. A lot of them were brought in at likes of, I think, Felix Patterson, Junior Criturna. They're all brought in by BIRCHAM. I think they're all London-based players. So yeah, you just wonder what would be going through their heads. And obviously just brought in Ian Hendon just to give the lads a bit of a boost. But yeah, in terms of just doing a prediction for this game, it's hard to go against UCD really, with all the circumstances in place. I probably would have gone for a Waterford win, with BIRCHAM in charge and with everything playing. But I think it's a definitely move towards UCD, I think, in terms of prediction.
Yeah, like if you're UCD, you'd be absolutely rubbing your hands at this fixture. Like, the most unideal way to come into a game from a Waterford point of view. Probably if BIRCHAM was still in charge, I could have thought going to extra time maybe. Just because I've been so impressed with UCD, all I've seen them this season. But yeah, I think you'd be mad not to kind of put money on UCD for this one. I keep saying put money. I'm not advocating betting. But yeah, with Kerrigan, Whelan, a few of the other players, I think it's all I would have seen this season. They play good football. They get the ball on the ground. Little passing triangles, a finding through ball. probably go for UCD with this one.
You have to bear in mind that Waterford previously beat UCD in the quarterfinal of the cup, didn't they? 3-2 as well with BIRCHAM in charge. So that would be beared in mind definitely in terms of this game. But yeah, what were you saying there? Your score prediction, sorry.
Score prediction 2-0.
2-0.
Kerrigan and Whelan go on. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go 2-1 UCD. I think there's Kerrigan and Whelan. They're the two you have to just back in this game. I think Whelan, they're coming into it in good form as well, off the back of kind of they'll be sharp with a couple of playoff games behind them. Maybe you can look at maybe a fatigue factor possibly from those games. It always is something you have to take into consideration, but I think they'll be sharp. I think they'll be ready to go. They're all young lads as well. A really, really talented group. So even we saw, we have to just off topic, we were at the Shells game, the last game of the season, and they rotated the side a lot and they still look really, really good, UCD. So yeah, their squad is strong and they've got a really, really good 11. They play really nice football as well. So I'm going to back them for, what did I say? 2-1, was it? 2-1, I think.
2-1, yeah. Then I'm just looking at Waterford's last few games of the league and lost cup semi-final, but beat both 2-1 in Dalymount in front of them. But then the last 5 games they were winless. Lost to Rovers, Dundalk, and then drew with Derry, Longford, and Waterford. Like second half game of the season, you need a win. Longford were already relegated. Like you need to be picking up a win there if you're to be safe. They went a man down there too, but I'd much rather. I don't think fatigue would be too much of an issue. I'd much rather have like 4 or 5 wins under my belt than. From UCD point of view than Waterford, like no wins in the last 5. So it's looking like it'll be UCD's on Friday. I think it's in Richmond Park, live on the streaming services. So
live on LYTV, isn't it? Yeah, 7:45.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Live on the streaming service, 7:45 kickoff, Richmond Park. Be sure to watch it. Looking forward to the game. Should be a really interesting watch. Thanks for joining me, Socko. If you did enjoy, guys, make sure to drop a like on the video and please do subscribe if you are new around here. It is much, much appreciated. Catch you in a bit.